I bought a kilo of silver. It's a Britannia. It's stunning. And it's got the king on it as well. The first big, chunky kilo Britannia with King Charles. And let me tell you, it's something pretty cool. And in today's video, we're going to take a good close look at it and really get to grips with what this stunning piece of silver is all about. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining me for this week's In Focus Friday, the show where we take a good close look at cool things made of silver or gold. And we'll get right back to that beautiful kilo coin in the intro after two very short announcements. The first being that our 1 gram hallmarked gold bars are still available on our website. There's a link in the description box below, and if you want something that's pretty cool, unique, different from everything else on the market, and you want to also support our channel, then look no further than these gold bars. There's a link down below. Thanks for looking, and if you're buying, thank you for supporting our channel. Secondly, we've got the auction for the Mint Era Britannia ending tomorrow over on the Silver Forum. There's a link in the description for that as well, and that ends, I think, at 9 o'clock in the evening tomorrow, British time, so go and check that out if you're interested in placing a bid. It's at £390 now. Where it will end up, I don't know, but it's certainly caught quite a lot of attention within the coin world. So that's linked down below as well. Now, let's move straight on to a beautiful, giant, lovely kilo of silver. Now, this is a direct order from the Royal Mint. You can, I think, purchase these coins from various dealers at this time, but I decided straight away to purchase directly from the Royal Mint when I saw it go live. There's not a massive amount of potential savings to be had from buying it from a dealer. And some of you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, Backyard Bullion, you've already got one of these coins. And you'd be right in saying that. But there is a difference in these coins, and of course, it is the Monarch. And I remember when the Queen Elizabeth Kilo Britannia came out, I did say straight away that I will be looking forward to the King Charles version and having them as a nice pair. So here they are, and it's really, really cool to see them together. So we're going to dive in and have a good close look at King Charles's portrait. This is the super maximum size version, of course, and hopefully we can see all of the absolutely brilliant minute details of the coin and also all of the security features on Britannia, the Britannia side herself, because these coins are super cool when it comes to those security features. Now, I have already slightly pried open the capsule before anybody goes, oh, the capsule's crap, look, they're quite open already, because they're an absolute pig to open, certainly for the very first time, because they end up with almost like a vacuum sort of seal inside. And it's absolutely incredible to have a good capsule from the Royal Mint, quite frankly, so I always kind of pre-do them before we start filming, because it's always a bit of a nightmare. And straight away you can see the difference pre-capsule and post-capsule. All of these coins, these big ones like this, the 10 ounces as well, they just sing when you take the capsule lid off, and I'm super happy with the way this coin looks. It's, if you can even call it a coin, I mean, it's a kilo of silver, isn't it? It's absolutely stunning. And now, I'm not usually one to buy Royal Mint silver at the moment. Certainly, you know, when you look at back, some of you might even be a little bit like, hang on, aren't you being a bit hypocritical? You put a video out 3 weeks ago going, you're not buying any more silver. Well, a few things. First, I ordered this coin before I made that video, and it was one of the last purchases that I made. The second thing is that this doesn't necessarily fall within the kind of bullion category for me, because it's not bullion prices. When you buy something like this from the Royal Mint, or even quite frankly from most dealers, the price and the premium on it will be huge. It was eye-watering, close to £1,000 when I bought it, which for a kilo of silver, when you compare that with the sort of price that you might pay for, you know, like just a generic bar of silver at like £6.80, £6.90, you know, you can see quite immediately you don't buy this for the weight of the silver. But what you do buy it for is the fact that it is a beautiful kilo coin that are not particularly common out there. You look at some of the previous ones that have happened, the Completer Queen's Beast coin, and that one I think I've got two still. I bought both of those for like $9.50, and I've seen some sell for $1,300, $1,400. So as a bullion coin, I think these are pretty cool, pretty unique. They kind of sit in that semi-numismatic, semi-interest, coin of interest position. So yeah, you know, from my perspective, I don't view this as a bullion investment. So that's why I've bought it. Here, though, is the second reason why I've bought it, to really get to grips with the king's portrait, if we can get it in as minute detail as possible. Now, here's an interesting fact. I saw some of these coins being minted when I did my Royal Mint tour, and the press that they use for this machine is absolutely ginormous and massive and super cool and interesting, and it's got a bit of an interesting history to it as well. Believe it or not, this coin has been stamped and minted by a machine that was bought off eBay. I know, right? It's absolutely crazy, but the team at the Royal Mint were explaining to me that this was a machine they bought off eBay for many, many millions of pounds, but of course it wasn't just a simple eBay, PayPal transaction, etc. But I thought that was quite fascinating. So let's get to grips with the coin itself. There's a few things that I'm just going to mention straight off the bat. So if you notice around the sort of edge of the design of King Charles, this sort of cross-hashed angled design, which is part of the security features of the coin, they do seem to sort of be, you know, noticeably ending at the sort of the edge of the coin with the lighting. It depends on the light. Like if you have it direct away from the light, you don't notice it, but like that, you see that the ridges of those are there. Now that's an interesting thing. I didn't remember seeing that on the Queen Elizabeth, but let's have a look and see if we can notice a similar thing happening on this particular coin. So if we get the angles, yeah. So you see on this one there isn't really that happening, and I don't know whether that's something to do with the change in portrait or whether it's a kind of quality related issue of this particular coin. It's certainly noticeable from my perspective. By the way, this is the first time me really seeing the coin up close. I only have taken it out the box to loosen the capsule somewhat. So, you know, it's depending on the lighting. Maybe it's the angle I'm getting, because on there, like that angle, you don't see it at all, but that angle you do. So let's see if we can replicate the angle here on the Queen to see if that's happening. But I don't think it really is. I mean, there's a very small amount of it happening, but you know, like at that angle, you just about see a few bits on the neck. But yeah, no, it's certainly not as good as that. Now, is that sort of a design flaw? Is that a mint error? We're talking about mint errors all the time. Is it just something that's happened because of the design of the coin? I couldn't possibly tell you. Is it just the way? I think it might just be the way that the angle of the king's neck comes down and sort of dissects half of these little designs, and it would suggest to me then that they've essentially just, essentially just slapped on the king's head onto a pretty much exact background that they've got already in a sort of document, you know, design document as it were. Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, if we turn it around to the other side with the king's head, yeah, you see the exact same issue at the top there. It looks like he's sort of been outlined and imprinted, and in fact, if we just turn this coin, I suspect, all the way around the edges of it, you can see that that outline is there on all parts of the outline of the king's head, which I don't think we're going to see on the Queen's side. So there's definitely kind of something that's not quite going right with that design in that respect. If we just do the rotation of the Queen, you can see that there's no seam. If we're going to call it anything, it's call it a seam. There's no kind of evidence of that seam happening if we angle it in different ways. So I would say from my initial reaction that the Queen's coin is a better quality, but I don't know if this is, you know, an issue, an error, or if it's just the design of the coin that's causing that to happen. So, interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? That would be interesting to find out. Of course, there'll be a lot of people who just moan about quality. I don't know if it's just a design flaw or if it is quality. It'd be interesting to see what you think. Let's have a look at the Britannia side and see what we've got going on here. Because again, like on this side, for example, I'm not seeing any of those raised, because it almost looks like, and I think it's probably what's happening on the Queen's side as well, it almost looks like there's a little tiny ridge that breaks before these wavy backgrounds. If you look real close, in fact, we have a really good camera. Let's see if we can get in real close and see. So you look at the edge of the cloak, for example, of Britannia. I think it's probably best visible down here at the bottom. And you can just see above that little bit of microtext. There's almost like a break between the cloak and the actual background design, which then means that there's no kind of bleed over of half dots and things. So yeah, okay, well, maybe it's just a design flaw within the coin. Well, there's Britannia, 2023, 1 kilo, 999 fine silver. You've got to admit that this side is absolutely stunning. These microtext engravings, by the way, they are super small even on the kilo coin. You can imagine how small these would be on a regular sized Britannia almost impossible to see, but they are part of the security features of the coin, as of course is this little hologram here, as we can see goes to the trident, goes to the lock. So yeah, okay, let's go back to the king's side and have another look, see what we can see real close up on this, because it does look pretty, like, I mean, I don't know, there's like a little border, like that angle is perfect, looks absolutely fine, but then you go to there and it kind of looks like it's been almost like, I don't know how to describe it, it's like it's been stencil outlined or something. I think it's just a design flaw. I think it's just perhaps a little bit of an oversight. You know, the angle there looks absolutely fine, but the high relief parts of this coin perhaps have hindered part of it, I think. And I think it's a shame in a way, but it looks really good nevertheless. Oh, and by the way, I know it's been talked about loads, probably everyone knows about it, but here, can you see a bird? Can you see a bird on King Charles's ear? It was, I think, a deliberate design, as King Charles is always famed to be quite the nature boy and quite enjoys wildlife, and I think that's pretty cool to have that on there. I'm not seeing, by the way, any kind of other fundamental flaws on the coin. Again, you can see, so this is really interesting actually. I don't think it's a mint error, I don't think it's poor quality. I think it's just the way that, it's a design oversight, I think, because there is this little kind of outline all the way around King Charles's head, and all of that. So it breaks up from that ridged design. But then, of course, when you angle it in such a way from the top, you can see that the different light reflections off those raised ridges causing this little outline, which does not happen on the Queen's side. So let's have a look. We go back to Queenie, good old Queenie, and we look. I think that the little dotted areas are actually perhaps less. Well, are they a slightly different design? Are they looking different? Let's get them both up on camera and have a look. I think they're pretty much the same, but it almost looks like that King Charles's ones have a higher definition, have a deeper strike almost. So maybe that's what's causing it. I don't know. There's definitely something that just to my eye looks different from the King Charles one. It does look deeper. It could be talking like nanometers of difference in depth. But there's definitely something there that's causing that. I don't know. But anyway, be interesting to see what you guys think about that, and we'll go from there, I guess. But I'm still happy with it. It's not something I'm going to return and say, hey, look, it's got this, because I think genuinely everyone's coin is going to have that in the wrong light. Interestingly, when you just have it and see it, you probably won't notice it. Maybe I'll notice it because I know it's there. I was going to see if it changes with the capsule on and off, but it doesn't. Anyway. So there we have a kilo of King Charles, absolutely stunning, really, really happy with it. Another £500 kilo coin, by the way, which is, I think, interesting, because, again, silver price is dropping quite a lot right now, and at some point it might end up being worth more in terms of a pound denomination than it will a silver denomination. So I think that's quite telling about the world that we're in right now. And, yeah, anyway. There we have King Charles on a gold, sorry, not a gold Britannia, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? Kilo of gold. King Charles on a kilo silver Britannia. Very happy with that. And a great little pair. The last Britannia, and really, I think the first in kilo form in bullion anyway, with the Queen on, and then the first with King Charles. Both 2023 coins. It's kind of cool. I like that, and that's why I've bought them. So, let me know what you've got to say about these down in the description box below. Thank you to watching to the end if you are one of my super cool Kids Club Rambling members. If you want to support the channel, if you've been watching to this point, then do hit subscribe. That's the best way you can do it. And don't feel like you have to go and buy our gold bars just to support our channel. But if you want to take it a step further than just watching, enjoying, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, you can go over to our website to check out our gold bars. Otherwise, auction tomorrow for this ending. Go and check that out as well. That's it from me. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.